That letter sitting on your kitchen table right now, the one with the blue and white SSA logo in the corner, do not put it in a drawer. Do not set it aside for later. Because what is inside that envelope could mean more money in your pocket starting this May, and I do not want you to miss a single dollar that belongs to you. I have been getting messages from so many of you asking about this letter, asking what it means, asking if it is real, asking if you need to do something right away. And today I am going to sit down with you and explain every single thing you need to know in plain English, the way a good friend would explain it over a cup of coffee at the kitchen table. Before we go any further, if you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button right now and ring that notification bell. Because every single week, we bring you information just like this, real, honest, important news that affects your retirement, your benefits, and your financial security. And if you have a parent, a neighbor, a friend, or a sibling who is retired or getting close to retirement, please share this video with them today. You might just help them keep money they did not even know they were owed. Now let me tell you something important. The Social Security Administration does not send letters for no reason. They are not in the habit of mailing things out just to fill up your mailbox. When that agency sends you a piece of mail, it means something is changing, something is being corrected, something is being added, or something requires your attention. And right now, thousands of retirees across this country are receiving letters that are telling them their monthly benefit amount is going up. Some are seeing modest increases, others are seeing adjustments that go back several months. And a smaller group is receiving what is called a retroactive payment, which is essentially a lump sum of money the government owes them from benefits they should have been receiving all along. So why is this happening right now? Why are so many people getting these letters in the spring of 2026? Let me walk you through the most likely reasons, and I want you to think about which one might apply to your situation as we go through this together. The first and most common reason retirees are getting this letter right now has to do with the cost of living adjustment, what most people call the COLA. Every year, Social Security benefits are adjusted to keep up with inflation. We all know that prices have been going up on everything from groceries to gasoline to prescription medications. The Social Security Administration calculates these increases based on a formula tied to the Consumer Price Index. But here is what a lot of people do not realize. Sometimes those calculations get revised. Sometimes errors are discovered. Sometimes the initial adjustment did not fully account for certain expenses that seniors carry, and a correction has to be made. When that happens, the SSA sends out letters notifying affected retirees of the change and what it means for their monthly check. Think about what that means for a moment. There are seniors out there, people just like you, people who worked 30 and 40 years, who paid into this system their entire lives, who have been receiving a check that was slightly lower than what it should have been. Maybe it was a difference of $20 a month. Maybe it was $50, maybe even more. That might not sound like a lot to some people, but when you are living on a fixed income, when every dollar is already planned out before it arrives, $20 or $50 a month is not a small thing. That is a utility bill. That is a week of groceries. That is a prescription refill. That matters. And the SSA is now correcting those amounts and notifying people by mail. The second reason you might have received this letter is related to Medicare premium adjustments. Let me explain this carefully because it trips a lot of people up. Most retirees have their Medicare Part B premium taken directly out of their Social Security check each month. When that premium goes up, your net check goes down. When that premium goes down, or when there is a correction in how much was being withheld, your net check goes up. The government recently made adjustments to how certain Medicare premiums are calculated for retirees in specific income brackets, and those adjustments are now being passed along through these letters. If your Medicare premium was being calculated incorrectly, you may be entitled to more in your monthly check going forward, and possibly a small retroactive amount as well. Now let me tell you about something called the hold harmless provision, because if you have not heard of this, it is incredibly important. The hold harmless rule says that your Social Security benefit cannot go down from one year to the next because of a Medicare premium increase. In other words, the government is not allowed to let your net check shrink just because Medicare got more expensive. But enforcing that rule requires careful calculations, and sometimes those calculations need to be revisited. When they are revisited and it is discovered that a retiree was affected in a way that violated the hold harmless provision, the SSA has to make it right. That correction comes in the form of a letter and a payment adjustment. I want to tell you about a woman named Dorothy. She is 78 years old, lives in a small town in Ohio, And she called her daughter one afternoon absolutely panicking because she got a letter from the Social Security Administration and she was terrified to open it. She thought it was bad news. She thought maybe they were going to cut her benefits. Her daughter drove over, sat down with her at the kitchen table, and they opened that letter together. Inside, they found out that Dorothy was going to receive an additional $62 a month going forward, plus a retroactive payment of nearly $400 covering the months when her benefit had been slightly undercalculated. Dorothy cried, not because it was a fortune, but because she had been skipping her afternoon medication twice a week to make her prescription last longer, and now she would not have to do that anymore. That letter changed things for her, and letters just like it are changing things for thousands of people right now. Another reason for these letters that I want to make sure we cover is the correction of earnings record errors. This is more common than people realize, and it is one of the reasons why you should always review your Social Security statement at least once a year. Your benefit amount is calculated based on your earnings history, specifically your 35 highest earning years. If there is a mistake in that record, if some of your wages were not reported correctly by an employer, if there was a clerical error at some point along the way, your benefit could be lower than it should be. The SSA has been doing a broad review of earnings records, particularly for people who worked in industries where wage reporting was sometimes inconsistent. When they find a discrepancy and correct it, your benefit goes up and you receive a letter explaining the change. If you believe there might be an error in your earnings record, you can check your Social Security statement by creating a free account at SSA.gov. I want you to do that. I want you to make sure that every year you worked, every dollar you earned is recorded correctly, because your retirement benefit is built on that foundation, and if the foundation has a crack in it, you deserve to have it repaired. There is also a group of retirees receiving letters right now because of the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset. If those terms sound familiar to you, you know exactly what I am talking about. These were two rules that significantly reduced Social Security benefits for people who also received pensions from jobs not covered by Social Security, like certain government workers, teachers, and firefighters. Congress passed legislation to repeal those provisions, and the Social Security Administration is now in the process of recalculating benefits for everyone who was affected. If you were subject to either of those provisions and you have not yet received a letter or a payment adjustment, be patient because the SSA is working through a very large number of cases. But when your letter arrives, open it immediately, read it carefully, and understand what it is telling you. Now, I have to stop for a moment and talk about something that makes me truly angry, and I say that with all the love I have for this community. Because every single time the government announces benefit changes or increases for seniors, the scammers come out of the woodwork, every single time. Right now, there are people making phone calls, sending text messages, and even knocking on doors pretending to be from the Social Security Administration, claiming they need your personal information to process your new benefit increase. Let me be absolutely crystal clear about this. The real Social Security Administration will never call you out of the blue and ask for your Social Security number, your bank account information, or any personal details over the phone. They will not ask you to pay a fee to receive your benefits. They will not threaten to suspend your benefits if you do not act immediately. If anyone contacts you saying those things, hang up. Block the number. Do not engage. The letter you receive from the SSA will come through the United States Postal Service. It will have a specific case number on it. It will never ask you to call a number and provide personal information to a stranger. If you have any doubts about whether a letter or a phone call is legitimate, hang up and call the Social Security Administration directly at 1-800-772-1213. That is the real number. Write it down. Put it somewhere you can find it easily. And please, please share this warning with every senior you know because these scammers are ruthless and they are specifically targeting retirees. Do not let anyone steal what belongs to you. Let me talk about what you should actually do when that letter arrives. First, open it right away. I know some of us have a habit of putting mail aside to deal with later, but this is not the kind of mail you want to sit on. Read it carefully, from the beginning all the way to the end. Pay attention to the effective date, which is the date when your new benefit amount goes into effect. Pay attention to the amount listed as your new monthly benefit. And if there is any mention of a retroactive payment, look for the date it will be deposited or mailed. Second, compare the new amount to what you have been receiving. If your direct deposit recently showed a different amount than usual, this letter is likely explaining why. If the new amount matches up with what you were hoping to receive based on the cost of living adjustment, that is a good sign that everything is processing correctly. But if something does not add up, if the numbers in the letter do not seem right based on your own records, do not just shrug and accept it. Call the SSA. Go to your local Social Security office. Ask questions. You have every right to understand exactly how your benefit is calculated. Third, if the letter mentions that you need to provide updated information, such as verifying your direct deposit account or confirming your address, follow the instructions exactly as written in the letter. Go to the official SSA.gov website. Do not click on any links from emails or text messages. Do not call any number that was not printed directly on your official SSA correspondence. I want you to do something for me right now, if you have not already. Drop a comment below this video and tell me if you received a letter from the SSA recently. You do not need to share anything personal. Just let us know if it arrived and whether it was good news or if you are still waiting to hear something. Our community reads these comments, and it helps people feel less alone when they are dealing with confusing government paperwork. And while you are down there, give this video a thumbs up if it has been helpful to you. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps us reach more seniors who need this information. I want to say one more thing before we close, and I hope you will really hear this. There are so many retirees in this country who feel forgotten, who worked their whole lives, who never complained, who did what they were supposed to do, and who now sit at the end of each month wondering if there is going to be enough. They clip coupons. They turn the heat down a little lower. They skip things they need because they do not want to be a burden on their families. And when a letter like this arrives, when they find out that there is more money coming, that the system caught an error in their favor, that someone somewhere noticed and made it right, it means more than just dollars and cents. It means they have not been forgotten. It means their years of work still matter. It means they can breathe a little easier tonight. If that is you, I want you to know that you deserve every penny that Social Security owes you. You earned it, and I am going to keep doing everything I can to make sure you know about it, understand it, and actually receive it. Please share this video right now with anyone in your life who is retired or getting close to it. Share it with your children and tell them to watch it with their parents. Share it in your church group, your neighborhood group, your senior center. Because information is power, and every single person in our community deserves to have it. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done it yet, because we are going to keep bringing you exactly this kind of honest, helpful, plain-spoken information every week. And we are not going anywhere. We will be right here, in your corner, every step of the way. Thank you so much for watching today. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next one.